What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay. Fight predictions in the building. I will be breaking down Calvin Kattar versus Josh Emmett for UFC, I guess, Texas? I think that's what they're going to call it, Texas? Dallas or whatever, wherever it's at, actually. But I love this fucking fight. This is a great fight. I had to do a bit of a film study on this one. It's probably... I'll probably do a whole bunch of film studies, but this one is such a fucking barn burner, bro. I love this fight, man. I really do, man. There's no real story going into this, you know what I'm saying? Just two guys that are about to fucking lose some goddamn brain cells in there. And that's what we're going to see, man. These guys are going to fucking throw down. Obviously, I think someone's going to get finished. And they're so good, man. Both those guys equally. And we're going to talk about it, but... yeah, man. Oh, man. I don't know why I keep on popping up to other websites. My bad, y'all. I'm just trying to get on the Tapology thing. Oh, my God. It happens again. It's not happening again. Yeah, it didn't get me this time. What is going on with the UFC website? Not the UFC website. Tapology, bro. Fix your website, Tap. What is going on with you guys? But, yeah, like I was saying, this is a phenomenal fight. The card is actually a banger card. I love the card. I can't wait for it. But yeah, man, storyline wise, there's not much of a story going into this fight. It really comes down to two contenders going at it, and trying to reach the ultimate goal and fighting for a UFC World Championship. I feel like there's more incentive for Emmett. I think Emmett's storyline to this fight doesn't really get told the right way. If people remember, Emmett at one point in his career, he was looked as the same as a Brian Ortega. You know, people forget when Emmett knocked out Ricardo Lamas, that was just the same kind of time period of when Ortega was getting his hype, when he beat I think Cub Swanson, and both those guys were in like crazy positions to really succeed. And that's the thing, people really put Emmett in that discussion of he could be like the next wave featherweight contenders that could dethrone Max Holloway. Emmett versus Max was a topic of discussion, a matchup that people thought about. Then he met a man named Jeremy Stevens, and we'll talk about that. And that completely derailed his career. You know, he was a young 34-year-old when he fought. I think Jeremy, I might be wrong. I really might be wrong, but he's no spring chicken right now. But when he fought Jeremy in this moment in his career, how old was he? He was 32. Fuck, man. He was 32. What the hell? How the hell did he get that old? That's crazy. He was 32, right? And ever since then, he's had to claw his way back on a 4-fight win streak to get back to the same spot where he was. I guess, how long was that? 4 years. It's crazy. That was 4 years ago. Doesn't even feel like 4. But yeah, he had to claw his way back, to get right back in his UFC Fight Night main event, and he's back. Let me pull this up a little bit. I'm sorry, but yeah, like he's right back there, and he's in a really decent spot right now, and he wants to fight for, UFC gold, and obviously he is 37 years old, so it's going to be a little harder for him. He's not necessarily in his prime, but he's been looking great. And yeah, if there ever is a moment to fight for the belt, it's right now. This is his moment, and this is his time. Kattar, he's kind of playing gatekeeper right now, figuring out his spot, and just, figuring out where he fits in this discussion of being a contender. Really, he's in this spot where he just has to beat everyone else in his way, so he's the last one like standing. You can't really use anyone else against him, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Whitaker did. I remember when he was trying to fight for that UFC belt, bro, he was just beating everybody so they wouldn't give another person a title shot, and that's what kind of Kattar's doing, man. But yeah, man, this fight is fucking phenomenal. But let's talk about the stats. Obviously, I think let's actually look at the UFC rankings. Bada bing, bada boom. Come on, rankings. UFC rankings. Calvin Kattar's number 4, and Josh Emmett is number 7. So it'd be a nice jump up for Emmett, if he was able to beat Kattar. So, which is really, really interesting. But in terms of the stats, Kattar comes with a record of 23-5. Is fighting out of Massachusetts, age 34, a height of 5'11", and a reach of 72. Josh Emmett, 17-2. Fighting out of Sacramento, age 37, a height of 5'6", and a reach of 70. So, obviously, some of the key things I look at, the height, the reach, obviously goes to Kattar. Then I look at the age, goes to Kattar. He's younger, he's more in his prime. Being 37 in the not lightweight division, in the featherweight division, it's not a necessarily good look. But Emmett has the ultimate equalizer, and it really doesn't matter, bro. It just doesn't fucking matter. But so I did like a 4-fight film study. Honestly, I just did 3 fights, but I wanted to add the Shane Burgos fight because both guys fought Shane Burgos, and I wanted to see how well they did. And obviously, let's talk about Josh fucking Emmett, right? So I'm gonna go more to chronological order. I'm gonna start off with the Jeremy Stephens fight. And you guys already know how I do my film studies. I bring up a fight where they fought someone similar, and Jeremy Stephens is also a common opponent of both of these guys, where they fought someone similar, they did well against, and also someone they fought similar and they did bad against, and obviously their most recent fight, right? And that's how I kind of look at it. So I look at the Jeremy Stephens fight, and we all know what happened there. I mean, I thought Jeremy looked so switched on in this fight. He looked so good in this fight. I'll never forget it. And he had so many good moments in this fight, even in the first round. But it doesn't really matter because Josh Emmett won the first round because of the knockdown. He caught him with a beautiful rear hook, with Jeremy just trying to lunge him for that that rear uppercut. And he got caught square on the chin, got dropped, and got hurt. But besides that one moment in the fight, Jeremy was looking really, really good. He was looking really sharp, and that's what, in my humble opinion, led to what ended up happening in that second round. Because in the first round, Jeremy landed the same hook that he caught Josh Emmett with, that he finished him with in the second round. He caught him with the same exact punch, right? He caught him. He got him clean. He hurt him. Now, obviously, there is some discussion about the knee. Was it illegal? To this day, probably Dominic Cruz and DC are probably arguing about that, if you guys remember that little clip. But it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful shot that he dropped him with. The knee, okay, but he still dropped him. He was fucking dead to rights. And ever since then, I've always questioned Josh Emmett's durability. I've always questioned who he is as a fighter, and he's proven me wrong. After this Jeremy Stephens fight, and this fight, man, it took a lot out of him. A lot of people don't remember that. It really did. It took a lot out of him. He was never the same guy, in my opinion, since. But he always had that power. And you can't take that away from him. But he did lose a part of himself in that Jeremy Stephens fight. People forget he took a year off, one, because, you know, all the fucking facial fractures he had, surgery on his face. He lost a big part of his prime because of Jeremy Stephens. Jeremy Stephens took a part of his soul, you know, I'm not gonna lie. And he proved me wrong. And I picked against Josh Emmett in his next 3 fights against Michael Johnson. Actually, that's not true. I picked Josh Emmett to beat Masard Bektik. But I did pick Michael Johnson to beat him, and I picked Shane Burgos to beat him. And let's talk about the Michael Johnson fight. Michael was winning 14 minutes of that fight. All right, 14 minutes. And in the last minute, he fucking blows it. He was winning 14 minutes of that fight, y'all. I don't know how else to describe it. 14 minutes? Like he was landing shots. He was hitting Emmett and not getting hit. He was just in a flow. He was looking really, really sharp in there. And I just thought he was on his way to being victorious. And it just, man, I guess it wasn't meant to be, but it just was nuts. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, he was looking so good in that fight. And then he gets caught with the most Mickey Mouse overhand, which was a beautiful knockout, by the way. As much as I'm a big Michael Johnson fan. I mean, I wouldn't call myself a big Michael Johnson fan, but I like Michael Johnson. Michael's a good guy, right? And I was happy when he got his just most recent victory over Alan Patrick. But Michael was going to get ranked if he would have beat fucking Emmett that day. And 1 minute in a fight, he gets caught. Emmett lands the shot, knocks him out. Beautiful, beautiful overhand, by the way. But I was completely sad for Michael because he was right there. Those are the losses that hurt the most. Is when you're right there, you're so close to the finish line, and they take it away from you because it's just some bullshit, or like the other person was just better that day. But yeah, man, it was crazy, and man, you hate to see it. You really honestly hate to see it. But yeah, we fast forward to the Shane Burgos fight. I thought, you know, you call me, I'm a Shane Burgos fanboy, so you guys already know. But I thought Shane won the first 2 rounds. I really did. Now, obviously, I give Emmett a lot of credit. He overcame a lot of adversity in that fight. I think he tore his ACL, and you could just see that his leg was just not there. His leg was not there. There's like 2 key moments, especially in that first one, where you can just see, like, we can see the initial tear and then see how he's reacting to the tear. And man, it was horrible. It was god awful. And you know, fucking Shane was landing some really good leg kicks. He was landing some really good leg kicks through those first 2 rounds. And I thought he was looking really good. Now, it was a competitive fight. The second round can go either way, but I gave the second round to Shane. I thought it was very, very close. Shane was able to kind of land a spinning back fist on him. But yeah, man, Shane was targeting that leg, and he was having a lot of really, really good success in that fight against Emmett. And then, yeah, the third round happened, and Emmett knocked him down twice. The first time, I think it was a jab, and then the last one was a crazy knockdown. Got him clean with that overhand. Fucking fucked him up. Almost knocked him out. I thought he was going to kill him. And Burgos was able to survive and able to make it, actually, to the end of the bell. And what makes that interesting about the Burgos thing with Emmett has brought Burgos in to be his training partner. I mean, not his training partner, his sparring partner for the Calvin Kattar fight. Because not only does Burgos have experience against Kattar, he's long, he's rangy, somewhat similar to Kattar. They have very similar styles in terms of how they box and, you know, how they, you know, attack, stuff like that. And he's brought him in. And man, like, that was crazy. It was nuts. It was wild. It was a good scrap. But I don't know. It's interesting, man. Like, I felt like Burgos, he kind of put out the blueprint to beat Emmett, right? The leg kicks are there. Now, obviously, Emmett was hurt, so we don't know how, if Emmett was healthy, how that fight would have went. But from what we saw, leg kicks are there. Combination punching, the jab, being longer, getting out of the way. I mean, he didn't get out of the way shots, but you should get out the way shots. Just using your range, the jab was really important. Front kicks, just being the longer fighter in there should help you to win that fight against a guy like Emmett. But we don't know. A healthy Emmett, maybe the fight would have went fucking. He would have went out of there quicker. You never know, but it is what it is. And then his most recent fight, Dan Ige. I picked him in this fight against Dan Ige. I almost picked Ige actually, but I just had a good feeling Emmett was probably going to win this fight. And I thought, I mean, he dropped Ige. You don't really see a lot of people drop Ige. Ige is super tough, though. It's really hard to knock. Like, you look at his Mozart Evloev fight, he ate that knee. But I don't think I've ever seen Ige get dropped. Did he? I wonder if he got dropped in the Kattar fight. I don't think he got dropped in the Kattar fight. But that's my opinion, right? So he dropped him in the first round, but then Ige comes back in the second round, hurts Emmett, and he had a really close fight with Emmett, by the way, and it was a really good fight. Emmett had a good performance against Ige, and then Emmett was able just to kind of outwork him in the third round and do his thing. And now we're here to this fight with Kattar. He beats Ige, gets the decision victory, 29-28. And now we're here, and he's back in this main event against Calvin Kattar. And basically, for Emmett, I truly believe if he wins this fight, I mean, he could honestly get a title shot. I mean, I don't think, or what you could see, he wins this fight and he fights the winner of Ortega Yair. You could see that. I wouldn't be mad at that. Maybe he fights Arnold Allen. You never know. But honestly, he wins this fight. He's on a 5-fight win streak. some pretty decent names on that list, by the way, of guys he's beat. You could make a real debate. He's the number one contender to the title. If Volk knocks out Max and he destroys Max, you never know. You could honestly put him in there with Volk. But it is what it is. But let's talk about Calvin Kattar, though. And let's figure out how he got here. And obviously, let's talk about it from chronological order. I had to bring up the fight with Burgos because both those guys fought Burgos. And, man, Burgos really had a lot of success against both of these guys. It's crazy. But he always ends up with the same result. He got knocked out. But, Burgos, man, he landed some good shots in that fight, man. He really did, like, a lot of really good body shots, a lot of just fast punches. He was on Kattar, man. He was really able to get his stuff on, and he was really good in transition to punches. But Kattar eventually was starting to figure him out, land punches that were beautiful, a lot of good counter punches on Burgos. And that's the problem with Burgos. He can land really good offensive combinations, and they're not bad punches. He's not like, I hate when people call him a brawler, because he's not a brawler. A brawler is someone that's like, in my head, I look at it as someone that's fucking swinging hooks at you with no technical ability. I wouldn't call Burgos that. I would call him an offensive fighter, and there's a difference. When you're a mainly offensive fighter, you have skill, but you lack in defensive abilities. That doesn't make you a brawler. Just because you're an offensive striker doesn't make you a fucking brawler. You can throw a lot of good strikes. You can throw strikes down the middle properly, throw a good jab, throw a good cross. That doesn't make you a brawler. I hate that term. I hate when people call people that. It makes me like, why are you saying this? It feels like you're insulting this guy. All right. It's just an unnecessary like criticism I feel like he gets. But what he does lack is defensive abilities. And I wouldn't say he lacks the ability to have defense. Let me change that. He lacks the awareness of a defensive mindset, where he's not slipping his head, he's not moving his head, right? Where he's just kind of just taking the shots and just rolling with them, almost like he's like, I'll take one and give one, right? So he's kind of in that situation. And yeah, man, he had some really, 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 really good moments against Kattar, but Kattar was figuring him out. Kattar was landing good shots. Kattar was landing good crosses. He was just landing a lot of good punches on him. And starting to figure him out, and eventually that led to that knockout, which was a beautiful, beautiful combination of punches. He knocked him out. I know some people say early stoppage, but man, that was a great fucking fight, a great scrap. Those guys put on a clinic, and it was. I feel like the finish is a lot more talked about than the actual fight itself, because the fight was a scrap. The first 2 rounds was crazy. It just ended really, really early in the 3rd round, and fucking Kattar got him. He caught him with a beautiful shot, and yeah, man, that was Kattar's night, man, and he was the man that day. And then Kattar fought another similar opponent, common opponent that him and Emmett share, Jeremy fucking Stevens. I added him in there, and man, Jeremy also had his moments. And that's the thing about Kattar. He gets touched. Kattar gets hit. That's just a fact. Kattar gets hit. He's not immune to getting hit. And Burgos was hurting him. Oh, he wasn't hurting him, but Burgos was touching him. Also, Jeremy was touching. A lot of people forget Jeremy actually looked good in this fight. Now, it was more of the kicks that Jeremy brought in that made him look good instead of the actual punches. And that's what Emmett's going to bring in, the punching, right? But, I mean, Jeremy landed some punches. He landed a lot of punches. And he looked really good in that first round. And I actually gave him the first round, even though it kind of ended kind of bad for him, where he did get fucking rocked at the end of that first round. I still gave him the first round based on the kicking, the output. It was a good scrap, man. It was a really, really good scrap. But Kattar again started figuring him out, and again, like I said, he rocked him at the end of that first round. Oh man, dude, he looked amazing. His boxing, I mean, when people talk about Kattar's boxing, you gotta look at that Jeremy Stevens fight, because oh my god, his combination punching was so good. And, you know, I make the same criticism about Shane Burgos, about saying that he's offensively minded striker. I say the same thing about Kattar. The only difference about Kattar and Burgos is I would say Kattar has a better chin. He doesn't get rocked as much. And Burgos is tough and he's durable, right? I would say he can be dropped. He can be knocked out, and we've seen it, right? And the thing with Kattar is that he gets touched. He really does get touched. But man, his ability to create combination punches and his ability just to throw and just look good and look clean is more than a lot of people can do, man. He looks fucking great at that. And oh my God, he looked amazing in there against Jeremy. And then he lands that beautiful elbow, gets the knockout, and I mean, we're out of here. And obviously, ever since that Jeremy Stevens fight, knocks out Jeremy, beats Dan Ige. Then he fights Max Holloway. Saddest day of my fucking life. Saddest day of my life, bro. I went on YouTube, y'all, and really said Kattar's gonna beat this man Max. He's gonna knock him out. He's gonna get him out of there. And oh my God, did Max Holloway prove me wrong. Max Holloway went out there and lit Kattar up from pillar to post. I rewatched that fight, bro. I've only watched that fight 3 times. And this was the 3rd time I've watched it. And it gets worse every single time. Like, because it's like I have such a high standard of Kattar. I look at Kattar as a high level fighter. And just to see him get beat up, like he got beat up, man. He got beat the fuck up, bro. Like, oh my God, they should have stopped that fight, bro. I don't give a fuck what no one says. He got beat up for no goddamn reason, right? But it is what it is. What can you do? You know? And I mean, Kattar, he landed some punches, which goes completely unnoticed, but man, he got fucking lit up in there. Like, the elbows, the kicks to the head, man, like, he got lit up, bro. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, man. Like, Max was just unloading on him, like, punching combinations. Like, he would not stop throwing punch. Like, it just was nuts. And he would, like anything Kattar would throw back, like, he would, like, start mocking him and he would slip roll, get out the way, and then start doing the robot. Oh my God. And he would hurt Kattar so many damn times. Like, he hurt Kattar 3 times with elbows and kicks to the head. Man, he had him fucked up. And then there's a moment in that fight in the 5th round which makes me sick to my stomach when I rewatch it. He's yelling at DC and the commentators like, "I'm the best boxer in the UFC, baby," right? And Kattar's trying to punch him, and it's just like, oh my God, fuck you, bro. Fuck you. It makes me fucking sick to my stomach when I watch that shit, bro. Oh my God. And obviously Max Holloway won the fight. And I mean, he did his thing, bro. He did his thing, and you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. He taught Kattar how to box. He beat up the senior, and I had to hold that L that day. But he ended up fighting Giga Chikadze, and this fight, man, Giga. I remember people were trying to tell me Giga was the next like White Anderson Silva, bro. Bro, like, I like Giga, bro. I don't even hate Giga. Giga's my guy, actually. Giga beat up Edson Barboza for me when Edson killed my boy, what's his name? Shane Burgos, right? So I like Giga. I like Giga for that. I got nothing against Giga. I mean, I've criticized Giga, but he was fighting my guy, Kattar. And I like Kattar a lot. I'm a big Kattar fan. And I felt like I was the only guy that was picking Kattar on this. I really do. I know some people want to act like everyone and their mama want to act like they picked Kattar in that fight, but it is what it is. I got no proof, though, to say that some of those guys didn't, but I just feel like I was one of the only guys who was picking Kattar. I feel like a lot of people were picking Giga. They were picking the Ninja. And man, this honestly, where this fight changed, in my opinion, man, and I watched this fight, fucking Kattar put a beating on Giga. Like, he took out all his frustrations that he got from from that Max Holloway fight and put it on Giga head. But man, he beat Giga the fuck up, bro. He beat him up bad, y'all. He beat him up bad, and I was in shock. I was legit in shock. And it all started with the takedown. It all really started with that first initial takedown that Kattar was able to get. Man, he got that takedown, and he was able to win that round. And it really, I don't know why, but that one wrestling situation, it took something away from Giga. I think what really messed with Giga's cardio in that fight was him just backpedaling so much. But that's what I think messed it up for him in terms of cardio wise. There were good moments in terms of scrambling from Kattar in the wrestling positions, or the grappling positions, how he was able to maintain his back when Giga tried to reverse it. There were some cool moments there. But yeah, I just feel like Kattar, his ability to walk him down, and Giga's ability to his non-ability to stand his own ground and just continue to be on his bicycle and circle around the octagon all the damn time. I think it really did hurt his cardio badly, really bad. But yeah, man, it is what it is. And the thing about Kattar didn't just stop with the wrestling. He proceeded to go out there and beat the living crap out of Giga, bro. That shit was nuts, man. He was whooping his fucking ass, and what really helped him a lot was his ability to switch stances every time by walking him down, so there was no clear body kick to attack. And man, I was in shock what I was seeing, bro. And he landed a beautiful uppercut, then a spinning back elbow. I was like, yo, Kattar got in his bag today, bro. He was in his bag. And man, he was looking really good, man. He's really looking phenomenal in that fight. But people forget, man. Giga landed some punches in there. Like, Giga, it wasn't a one-way show. Giga landed shots. Like, he landed shots in that fight. Obviously the damage wasn't there because he was just fucking gassed out, but he was landing shots in that fight. I don't think he hurt Kattar, but he did hit Kattar a few times. And then Kattar responded with that initial kind of flurry in the second round with a takedown, and he was able to get him down. But yeah, man, Kattar just proceeded to just whoop on him, man. He whooped on him so fucking bad, bro. I think he landed another spinning back elbow. I don't know if I said it before, but he landed a beautiful sneaky uppercut. He was just landing beautiful shots in there. And then there was obviously that last moment in the fifth round where he's just laying on Giga, and he's just whooping on him, and he drops him. And I did a reaction to that actually on my YouTube channel, and I'm just like, man, sit the fuck down. Y'all was talking all that mess about Kattar, and he proceeded to I thought he was gonna knock him out at that moment. I thought he was gonna finally finish him, because I felt like Kattar was kind of like just like slapping him a little bit. If you remember when he was throwing jabs, I just felt like he was kind of not imposing his will like he could have. But yeah, man, it is what it is. At the end of the day, I thought it was a great performance by Kattar. He ended up winning the fight, shocked the world. I mean, he was I think a plus 200 dog in that fight, if I remember, to fucking Giga, and it was nuts, man. It was nuts. Or not a plus 200. My bad. Giga was a minus 200 favorite over Kattar. My bad, y'all. But yeah, man, he looked fucking. I mean, he looked great. But going into this fight with Emmett, though, I'm gonna keep my predictions pretty quick. I can see Emmett touching Kattar and knocking him out and catching him with a really good punch. But that's really it. That's the only path of victory for Emmett. Boxing-wise, I think both of them match up really well with each other. I don't think Emmett has bad boxing. I know I've seen some takes like that, like Kattar's like levels above in the boxing than Emmett, and I just don't agree. I think they're both pretty equally good with their hands. I would actually say Emmett actually has faster hands than Kattar. But I just feel like Kattar is just that longer fighter. I think stylistically he's just a bad matchup for Emmett, because he's longer. He's gonna use his jab. He's gonna move out the way. He's gonna hurt Emmett too, because he has power himself. So that's just what makes it a bad matchup. But I just think Emmett's only path of victory is catching him with a really good overhand, and that's pretty much it. That's the only way I can see Emmett winning. But I got Kattar winning this fight. I think he's gonna be on him the whole entire fight. I think he's gonna be piecing him up from range. I think he's gonna make it look easy, and I think I actually got Kattar by second round TKO. I think he's gonna get him. I think he's gonna get him out of there pretty quickly. Actually, I could see Emmett getting the surprise knockout and shocking the world, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I gotta go with my boy Kattar. I've never picked against him actually, and I'm not gonna start, man. Kattar's the man, and it's gonna stay that way. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's my prediction, Kattar by second round TKO. But yeah, man, go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. The links will be down below in the description box. Like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all, and goodbye. And tell me if you guys enjoy these early breakdowns that I give you guys like on Fridays. Like, I like posting them pretty early. But yeah, it is what it is. Love y'all, and goodbye.